message. I'm just going to keep them coming as they come. When you're that, when the channel's open, you got to move it through. So here's the message, okay? And this is about the dangers of not being yourself, or the dangers of not being open, or just like going big, essentially, being yourself. Here's the dangers. And so I want to use this as a metaphor. I was actually having this conversation with my husband, Cham, and this is something that we've spoken about this a few times. And he was talking about like using the metaphor, or not even a metaphor, he was just talking about cars, right? He's just like, you know that expression like babying the car, like people that baby their cars, is that you don't let the car, hey, Crystal, oh my God, I was so thinking of you in terms of this message. So you're going to love it. So I'm talking about cars and the dangers of not fully being yourself, like the dangers of when you hold yourself back or you're playing small or whatever. So we're talking about a car, and like the expression of babying a car, means that you don't let the car go above 3,000. Can you hear me? Because can you see where I'm at? And they're playing over there. Yeah. Can you hear me okay? It sounds loud to me, but there's like echo, yeah. Anyway, so babying a car, the expression comes from if you've driven a car and you don't let it go above 3,000 miles or revolutions, RPMs. And I asked him, there is background noise, but it's okay, cool. So I asked him, I was like, is that really good for the car? And he says it depends on the vehicle. He's like, if it's like an average car, like a Toyota Camry or something like that, that's good. It's for its longevity. But if it's a sports car and you don't open the car up, meaning you don't put the car on the highway and you don't allow it to go as fast as it's designed to go, you will fuck the car up. And because what happens is that there's all of this excess carbon that is in the system. And so this is why I use the metaphors. It's so important to understand what kind of animal you are. If you're a horse, if you were designed to be if you're an athlete, for example, but you're not actually using your energy and training your body and living your life as a high performance vehicle or as an athlete, you're actually fucking up your system. It's not good for you because you're not being you. One of my Sufi teachers, one of her expressions was, you can be you or you can be ill. And so for example, and this is why he was talking about, he's like, you'll see sports cars on the road, they rev their engine, and people are like, oh, they're showing off. And yes, they are showing off, but it's actually good for that vehicle because it's letting out extra carbon, because it has to go slow, because it's going slow through main traffic. You know what I'm saying? And so it has to let out that extra carbon because it's not meant to go that slow. It's meant to go fast. So I want you to use this and see this as a metaphor. If you know that you're an ambitious person, or you're competitive, or you're an athlete, or you consider yourself you want to be, or deep down inside in your soul, you're a high performance, elite performance, high performance, being the best that you can be, you have a lot of ambition or a lot of aspiration. And so that was the other term that he was using for the car, is it's you aspirate, you have to aspirate the vehicle, because if you don't do that, what happens is excess carbon builds in the system. And the same thing happens in our bodies. Our bodies are made of carbon. Okay, but actually something that's happening, and I spoke about this, I actually spoke about this inside of the Mars Moxie welcome call, you might remember, is I spoke about how our bodies are moving from a carbon-based system into a rainbow light system. We're moving more into the light body, the rainbow light body. But as we're still in these bodies, we still build up carbon in our system. And so really what this is speaking to is when you're holding back, and you might feel that it's like, showing off. Like, that would just be like showing off, or that would me being arrogant, or that would me being too much. But really, you're actually doing more harm than good. You're actually, because you're not really being fully you. Because you're trying to be humble, or you're trying to place, or you think you need, you know what I mean? Yes, to clearing the gunk out of the system, definitely. Yes, right. Like that's what we're doing inside of Mars, Moxie. That's why is I'm getting you to remember what it's like to be operating and living your life like a high performance vehicle, which is what you have. It's what you are. And so it's like every now and again, right? Like we have to do that in our vehicles. We have to push ourselves beyond, like even more, like it's like, and what's next? Like what more is possible? How big can I really go? And if you're that type of person, it's like you need to be, iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. It's like you have to place yourself and put yourself and surround yourself with other animals, other vehicles, other situations that's going to sharpen iron. Iron sharpens iron. Power recognizes power. And if you don't do that, it's not good for your vehicle. It actually, and so this was something that I noticed, and I've been noticing this within myself. I've been seeing this in other people, which is why I'm speaking to it, is it's like if you have gifts and talents, but you're not using them, it's not good for you. It's actually not good for your body. Like there's this girl that I know who has an amazing voice and she's not singing. Like she's not using her voice. And it's like I can see the effects that it's creating in her life because she's not being, every gift that you have, every talent and gift that you have but you do not use becomes a source of aching pain in your soul. And I'm not saying that it has to be your money-making job. It doesn't have to be a part of your business, but I mean, and it can be, right? But it's like, are you being fully you? And the place, and so I actually did one other video. It's very short, and I'm about to train right now with my husband, and he's waiting, so I gotta go. I did it earlier this morning, and I talked about those of you who have been told you're too much. Go and watch that. It's on my page, and or I'll link it here in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. I love you. Mwah.